everybody, and welcome. My name is Laura Cilio, and thanks for being here with us today. So today we're in for a treat because it's Spring Step, our professional and work shoes, and we're going to show you how they could be for just an everyday great choice of shoes. So we're getting into our spring of 26 season, but of course these styles are also annual, so you can be sure that they are in stock all year round. So let me just tell you a little bit about Spring Step Professionals and what we do here and what makes our shoes so superior. Well, first and foremost, we want to make sure that our shoes are tested in a lab so that we have our test results for all those, those conditions of maybe it's slippery, maybe it's wet. And really what it stands for is, we talk about slip resistance and skid resistance. It's all about, when we talk about skid resistance, what we're talking about is it's going to control you as you're in motion. So if you should have a contaminant, whether it's something greasy or oily, it's going to control you, and it's going to make sure that you can pivot fast, you can move fast, because life is fast as we know it. So I'm going to point out all those great features and technology as I go through the styles, but before we get started, let me share with you our top selling styles. Okay, so in our professionals, you'll see that they're annual. As like I said before, we have both men's and women's. I do ask you to follow along in the catalog. What you're going to see is you'll see primarily in US sizing, and that US sizing does include half, so please take notice of that. But our number one style is Manila. She is a basic. I'm going to call her a great workhorse. She's just a nice basic style, and you can also see extended sizes there. Number two is Bransky, a little bit more of that athletic, if you will, type of an outsole. Number three is Wisteria, another tried and true. Four is Woolen. Five is our Manila Flower Power, because we want to give her a little pop, a little bit of design there. And then of course number 5 is Windfree Flutter. So a lot of essentials, a lot of core styles, and that's really what Spring Step Professional is all about. Now we have the men's. So our men's are also annual. Take notice of the size ranges there as well. We have Beckham, our number one style, a nice closed in shoe. We have number 2, which is Hopkins. 3 is Whitaker. 4 is Blaine, and then 5 is Cameron. So just nice essentials for every day, and like I said, it's a great everyday choice. So let's start with the women's and let's get through into the product. Now, as I was mentioning earlier, we want to talk about versatility. We want to talk about what movement and life. The first style is My Quinn. So we're going to make sure that she's active. And how are we doing that? We want to make sure that with every single step that you always feel steady and confident on your feet. While this particular style and the next few on this outsole aren't rated for oil, they are rated for skid. So what that means is you're going to have that nice tread. I hope you can see all the way right there from that toe all the way to the heel. It gives you a nice tread. It's also going to give you something that's lightweight. It's something that's durable. So let's just say, you know what, maybe you're going to, these scream, exercise class to me, or workout, of course, but maybe it's running errands. Maybe it is in a work environment that is maybe a little bit more light where you're not with the oil. That certainly could be too. So just think of how versatile these shoes really are. I'm going to take this out because this is our insole. I always say that she's thin, but yet she's mighty. We're going to give her a little bit of that arch support right here. We don't have it too pronounced. We just want to make sure that we're caressing that arch. The top is a really nice, it's a material that will just whisk away the moisture just as you see it. And of course it has like that little, ever so slightly, a little bit of that heel cup, just to really, I'm going to use the word caress the foot. The nice also point about this particular style is the way that it's constructed, that it's really nice lightweight, and then of course it has an inside stitch construction, so that's really what's going to contribute to all the comfort. And look at the great colors. So you have that blue, a nice little fresh, I call it like a buttery yellow, and then of course a really nice basic black and white. She is perforated through, but you could be assured she has a really nice lining as well. Want to make sure that she's lined in a really nice soft material. We go through that extra mile to make sure that she's soft and beautiful all the way around and looks great, because we know that the person who's wearing it, she's moving. Like I said, maybe you're pivoting, you're moving, you're going. And this next style, Melfi, she's so cute. So here's what we've done. We're taking a traditional Mary Jane. We're gonna give her just an ever so slightly little bit of, number one, a nice material here that has strength and has durability. Number two, it's a little bit longer, so this way you're in there for sure. And actually, while I have her open, I'm just gonna take her all the way out because I want you to see actually the pattern. We're literally making sure that she has a little curvation here, and what that's going to do is when the Mary Jane underneath the hook and loop, you're going to see how it's really closing very nicely, has a nice little rounded edge. We're padded all the way throughout to make sure, number one, that the heel clips, but number two, that she has the stability of that heel counter, and she has all that great padding. And then you can see, just really sweet. I mean, hot pink, wow, you can't go wrong, especially the way that it accentuates with the black, and I also like the white, and then ever so slightly. Now this is like it's like a little bit of a lycra material that has padding underneath. So just well thought out. Our next style here is Alessa. So what you see here is a very traditional lace-up athletic style, but the best part about it is, remember that she is skid-proof. So you can see the bottom right there, so no matter what activity you're doing, and just think of, even if it's in your house, you're running errands, you're doing something outside by your garage, you're working out, no matter where life takes you, you're going to feel nice and easy in these particular styles. A nice outsole, again, very nice and lightweight. And then the accent pieces here, it's actually giving the illusion here. You can see it's kind of like a little printed material, gives it that nice illusion to give it dimension, give it some design, give it something active. I actually am going to really point out this particular color because she's kind of like that periwinkle color. And of course, you're going to have that little bit of the accent right there in the back. I hope you can see through the screen, the way that the heel shape, the back counter of the heel is shaped, because it's going to, dip where your ankle bone dips. Gives a little dip right here in the back, because that's for that, the back part of your heel, so it cups it good and doesn't pinch it. And you can see even on model just how nicely it really holds and rides up onto that foot. And of course, it's great colors. So now our next style, we're still in this whole athletic look. Now, this next style, I am going to tell you that she is oil and skid resistant. So what does that mean? Well, you're going to see our tread right here, and thank you, Liz, for zooming in. You're going to see our tread, and what that really shows you is that it shows you, number one, that we're making sure that when we talk about contaminants in the tread, we want to make sure that we're giving a really nice design, so it really will whisk away any contaminant that you may be in contact with. We want to make sure that we're covering that whole surface of that outsole. She has a little tackiness to her, but that's because of the rubbers that we use. There's a lot of different compounds of rubber out there. We use a very specialized one, so we get that nice grip and that traction where you need it. Because remember, you don't want to be thinking, you're moving around fast. You don't want to be thinking like, oh my gosh, I have to be careful not to slip, and this will do the trick. Now, you're also going to notice the toe boxes. So we want to make sure that we're giving enough room in the toe box. Number one, maybe you're wearing a heavier sock. You want to be able to wiggle your toes, move your toes. And of course, the last, you can see that she is a little bit wider here. And because we want to give that room, padded collar, padded tongue, and all the greatness that you can expect. So her name is Ivanka. I actually do wear Ivanka. I wear her around. I wear her, just doing errands no matter where I go. Number one is our Manila. Now, I hope you can see why. Now, she is a very, I want to say basic, but yet essential. So what makes her, so great? And you know what it is? It's that she is comfort for every day, where she's a little bit more durable than just a typical, whether it's a sneaker or a casual shoe. She's durable. She has all that great stitching. And when we say durable, yes, I'm meaning the outsole, I'm meaning the treads, but I'm also meaning just the stitch construction. You can see she's an outside stitch construction. I'm going to make sure that she's durable, where that upper is stitched to that outsole for that strength, for that durability, because after all, these are hardworking shoes for hardworking people. Going to have twin gore. Let's slip into her nice and easy. Let's give her a really nice top line. So if you take notice on the model's foot, you'll see that she dips ever so slightly right there. And then that again is for looks, and it's also for comfort. This is our number one all-around comfort shoe. Toe box is a little higher. And then I also want you just to take notice of the toe shape, because she's like a traditional clog. Love her very much. Mediums and wide, so please pay attention to that, and also going up to size 12. So that's our Manila, ranked number 1. And she's leather. Next time is our Manila Flower Power. So you can see she's fun, she's floral, she has a really cool little psychedelic feeling to her. She's ranked number 5. And she has all those great properties of Manila that I was just explaining, all the way down from the tread, all the way to the twin goring. And then we just want to give her something special. And it's just that nice print, because after all, you look down and she just brings a big smile to your face. Now, our next style, we're going to get into another construction. And if you can see this construction, she's feminine. I like her lines very much, but yet she's very mighty. And when I say mighty, it's because you guessed it, the treads on the bottom that we have. So she has a little bit of that toe kick. Yes, it makes her look cute, but it's also for protection, because remember, when you're in these work environments, you want to make sure that you're also protecting the shoe. So this way the shoe will be able to be with you for a longer period of time. You're going to see, we gave twin gores, but the cool thing is, and of course it's for design and looks, you're going to see right here that you can see that elastic right there on that outside. Really nice, really smart looking, and again, we're going to give a patent and we're going to give a smooth. Our next style, I don't have the sample with me, but her name is Libby. And we're going to put her up on the screen because she is so cute. So she's on that outsole that I was just describing before. A little bit of that kick toe. You can see that nice dimension. And look at how cute she is. So we're taking almost like a little classic shoe, kind of like a skimmer type of a little shoe there. And what we're doing is we're adding elastic. So we're adding elastic in a crisscross design right across the top. You'll notice that there's different widths of the elastic. One that of course is really doing the hard work, which is a little thicker. And then you have your other thin elastics right around. And then again, please do take notice of that back heel. So take notice of the back heel counter. She comes up high, because I was describing her as a little bit of like a skimmer, but yet she comes up high enough on that back heel to make sure that she's really held on to the foot. And again, she just has a great look and feel, and she is available in black. The next style on that same outsole, this is Bransky, ranked number 2. So you can see why we built upon this construction, because she is so popular for us. Now with Bransky, we're going to give a side zip. So the side zip is in addition to the inside goring. And if you notice, we're going to give her a little bit more of a deep gore, because we want to make sure that everything really moves with her. Now you can see I'm trying to flex here, and my point of showing you this is that we wanted to find that balance between something that has enough support and structure, but yet lightweight, and that is the recipe for our style Bransky. I've got one. I'm going to hand it over to model, because I think it's always important for you to see how she comes up onto the foot, how she takes shape of the foot, and especially the way she hugs around the top line of the foot. So we're going to have our model coming up very soon. And the cool thing about when you have that zipper It's really nice because it also helps with getting in and out, and it's just a really nice, easy function because there's sometimes you need a little bit more than just the twin goring. Here comes Liz, and you can see, look at how she is on the top line. It really hugs around the top of that foot very nicely. And notice the feminine lines, how sleek she looks. Sleek but mighty, that's what we like to say. Our next style. So now we're getting into another construction. I hope you can see, even in this particular construction, that we give her a little height here in the back. And the reason for that is because we also know that when someone is on their feet all day, we don't want them to be just flat against the floor. They need a little bit of the height. And what that actually does is it's going to help the foot kind of rest and nestle and hug your foot all inside this shoe. She has a little bit of that platform, so it's not a big pitch, but yet she is elevated. Take notice of the toe box shape. Now, we talk about the toe box. You can see it's pretty predominant right there, especially in this style. But what also really grabs me about this style is that the way that the cut right here, I want to say it's enough vamp right here so it doesn't dig into the bone. Sometimes the bone, whether you have a bunion or not, that bone can be a little, I'm going to say irritating if you have a shoe that's rubbing there. But we make sure that this comes up high enough. It is a nice classic Mary Jane where, you know what, there's your hook and loop, giving her something ever so nice there. And again, it's just a nice essential. So even if you're not into a uniform or in a uniform, just look at what a nice comfort basic style she is. And she is Wisteria ranked number 3. Our next style, I'm going to show you a PowerPoint, and that's our Wisteria flower. So you can tell, so she's kind of like a suede material, if you will. She has a little bit of a hint of a little shimmer. She has purples and blues in there. She's a blue multi, but you can always see like a little bit of that little hologram, little shimmer to her. So she's ever so sweet. The next style is, again, a basic, and this is our woolen. So this is on that construction I was just explaining to you. But here's what you'll notice, the difference between, say, a manila and a woolen. Number one, she's an inside stitch construction. So for, what does that really mean? It means that she just looks cleaner. Great comfort, great durability. I did talk to you about that, but right now she just has a cleaner look. Still very feminine. You can see that great toe box, twin goring, and what we've done with this twin goring, because this top line is a little bit, I'm going to say, a little bit more snug. She's going to ride up right around there. Remember, she's going to make sure that the ankles don't rub. We've padded her all the way around. So you're going to have padding on the side, padding on that back heel, and then you're going to have padding right here across the top of your foot. The inside, geez, I haven't talked about the inside yet, but she has a really nice, I'm going to call it like a fabric lining, like that, what do I want to say? It's that material that will really just whisk away the moisture, so this way your feet don't get sweaty. And then when you've been working so hard all day in your shoes, you want to be able to, you can take out that removable insole, air it out, even if you have to take a little damp cloth, wipe it down, and the same for the uppers. This way you keep the shoes nice and clean, so therefore your feet will be nice and healthy and clean. 13 is woolen light. So all we're doing is we're taking that woolen and we're giving her a material. So this is a man-made material. She is durable. Like I said, you can wipe her down if there's any contaminants that should come in contact. Like her very much. I always describe her like lightning. She's just really, kind of cool looking, right? Giving her a little bit of that color. So you can imagine, and I keep saying to you, comfort shoes, street shoes, go ahead and get them. This is our woolen light. Our next, and you can see, I hope throughout, that anytime that we do a pattern or a design, we're doing a little bit of the shimmer. So, I'm just looking to, of course, with my blouse, she looks kind of cute, right? So you can see she just has a really nice design, the aura. She's really beautifully done. She has that little bit of texture. And then I hope here you can really see, and maybe you can actually see when I'm depressing, all that really nice padding that goes all the way around her. And like I said, even up the top here, of course here it's a little more cushionier, but it just has a really nice feeling. I'm gonna hand her over so you can see what she looks like on the model. and she's really pretty. So as you can see, I'm trying to explain to you how these particular styles can be very, very versatile, no matter what you're wearing. So Liz is coming up, and you know what, even with Liz, so she has a black legging on, but look at how great it looks. So it adds a little some pizzazz, and you can see that great outsole and just a nice fit. All day comfort classic shoes, that's what we've got. We're gonna move to the next one, and again, we're taking that same exact silhouette, and we're giving her a print. So butterflies. Now she's been in the line, she's been in the line for quite some time, and that's because she keeps on selling. So we read reviews, of course, and what we read about our professional shoes is that once she finds that comfort, she will come back and continue to buy them, because once you find a shoe that feels so wonderful, well, you want to, of course, keep buying her. And we're giving you a reason to buy with giving you different patterns. So this is our flutter. Again, just a little bit of that, iridescent look. So when she hits the light, sometimes you see a little more purple, a little more greens, but she's really pretty. And there's the butterfly that shows about re-life. Okay, so next style is something really kind of fun, because her name is Avery, and she is a little bit of a convertible. So when we talk about her, she's made in Brazil. Now, Brazil is really known for their shoes. It's a thermoplastic material, so it has a really nice, I'm going to say, like a durable, sturdy feeling. And here's the convertible part. So you can see as the model's wearing it, maybe you need a little more support for that back strap. There it is. And maybe you just want to slip on something like a clog. So you would just move that strap forward. It has a little lip there so it can, just kind of remain so it doesn't get loose. And check it out. I mean, we show you insoles, but wow, look at this. This is some mighty insole. So as you see the insole, you're going to see, number one, the curvature of the foot. You're going to see the heel cup. And then you're also going to see a little bit of this massage here. And it just really brings a nice feeling underfoot. And of course, if you had something custom, you could put that in. But what's nice about this, you know what, take it out. We talked about cleaning our shoes, keeping our shoes clean. You can just literally wash this out, wash this, let it air dry, and off you go. You got something really nice. So think of how versatile. Maybe it's your gardening shoes, your dog walking shoes, in addition to your professionals. So we want to make sure you can go from what work right to play, right to your everyday life in these. Notice the price points. Unbelievable. Again, made in Brazil. Now, we love that style very much. Of course, we're going to start showing that same style for men. So we talked about men's earlier, and there's a lot of styles here. This is like a unisex style, right? Anyone can wear it. We have another array of colors. My shout out always is this green. I think it has a really cool look. It's like that army green, a little bit of like that camouflage kind of look. And then you can see all those great insoles right there. Just like we did for the ladies, we're doing it for the fellas. So this is our style Cameron, and that is our rank number 5. And of course, a white is always classic. We do still find that people need white. Our next style here is ranked number 4, and remember, we're ranking them within the men's arena. And this is our style Blaine, durability. Durability in the leathers that we use. It's a pebbled leather. A pebbled leather, number 1, looks a little bit more casual, but has a more durable feeling to him. So you're giving a nice toe box. I am going to flash you the bottom because it's a tread. I want you to see that, he's oil and skid resistant. So he has that really nice tread all the way, as I described before, from heel to toe. And then check this out. It's removable. And he takes me just a little oomph to get him out because he is so mighty. And there he is. So he just has a really nice feeling. Again, I told you about support. We want to make sure that is supportive. There's the heel cup. We're going to give a half and half where we have the leather here that's pebbled, and then right here, of course, we have the fabric to whisk away that moisture. We're going to make sure that that insole really is nestled in there, and that is the reason for that little bit of that back lip. if I just spin him around really quickly, we talked about what the little toe kicks in the front to protect. We also made sure that the material of the outsole actually comes up also to protect. So you're protecting the shoe as well as yourself. We're gonna give a little bit of that twin gore so the style moves. And then because it's a clog, we wanted to create, extra comfort in a clog. And how we did that is we're taking this all the way around and giving padding. So even on this little, I call it a back lip, you're gonna also have a little bit of that padding and right here along the top, and that is our Blaine. So based on Blaine, let's take the next style, which is Beckham. Brown, dark brown, what a great smart choice that is. So it's the same exact outsole I was just describing. There's our tread, and as you can see, we're protecting a little bit more than just a little lip on the toe. We're giving a lot of protection right there. So you can see a nice traditional white. Remember, hospitality. You have a brown, I shouted out, and then of course the black, and I hope you can guess what's inside because it's that same cushy removable insole that I showed you on the previous style, and that's our number 1 style, a nice full shoe. Our next is Hopkins, ranked number 2 within the men's. There's that bottom. I absolutely love it. So you can see there's all the tread. We always say, just like the tires on high performance cars, that's how we really engineer our styles. Padding all the way throughout. And I hope when you can see here, he has a nice toe box, a really nice shape, a very traditional lace to keep it nice and, what I want to say, secure on the top of the foot right there. And of course, I just want to point out how lightweight they are. Our next style here for the fellas is Clive. So now we're bringing in more of this textile material, and then of course they have the I'm going to just call the round bumper edges pieces right here, and that is of course the leather material. There is a nice removable insole in there, and again, remember, all the way from heel to toe, we're giving nice lining, and of course a really comfortable insole there, and that's our Clive. Our next style is Ames. So something that is very traditional. It's a lace up, but we're just giving him a little bit, I'm going to use the word pizzazz. If we could pizzazz up a black shoe, this is what we're doing. So really it comes down to the pattern design right here. So just giving him something extra pizzazzy, because again, we want to make it versatile, right? We want him to be able to work, to play, and do everything in between, all in his style Ames. And the next style is Whitaker. Always do great with slip-ons. I know I talk about traditional laces, but the slip-ons, those are the key, because after all, boy, you just have to quick slip on and go. I mean, you don't get much faster than that. Here you can see that nice padded back. You could be assured that we have structure right here in that heel counter where he needs it. And when we talk about a slip-on, you have your twin goring right here, but we're also just going to give you a little extra help if you should need it, which is a pull tab. So you could literally pull the style up. I always remembered, growing up, you never just want to step on the back of your heel to take it off because, well, number one, you're going to ruin your shoe over time. You don't want to crush the back. So instead of that, just take the pull tab. You can help you pull it on, pull it off. So please really use that. And of course, here is just a nice, I call it just a classic style, but yet you're protected because it's oil and skid resistant. So that is our presentation for our Spring Step Professional. I always say, I hope you learned something, and as you can see in the background, you can see they're very basic shoes, but they're the ultimate in comfort, the ultimate in safety, and of course they're all test rated. So thank you very much. We really appreciate it, and we hope to